bring in Andrew Clennell, our political editor. Let me put this to you, Andrew. If there's anyone still talking about an early election off the back of a rate cut, well, if there somehow is one this year, it will be a knife-edge decision at the last minute. In other words, you couldn't possibly call an election and then just hope there's a rate cut afterwards. That'd have to be the timing. I mean, is that dead, buried and cremated, the early election narrative?
Well, we got a news poll that has Labor at 31%. You can say goodbye to an early election. One rate cut's not going to fix that. So, and if some of those forecasters are right and you don't have a rate cut before May, government could be gone. It's as simple as that. So let's say they're praying at the moment. But like I said, this is really the entree. The main course is tomorrow. It's the inflation figure. So you can't blame them for not having a dovish statement, as Ed Boyd said, because the last figures they've had is monthly 3.5 inflation, quarterly 3.8, and a trimmed mean 3.8 or 3.9. So, yeah, of course they're going to give a statement which says, look, we're just having a look at the moment. It's a pity these things aren't done in reverse in terms of the order of it. The Reserve Bank decision followed by the inflation figure, albeit a monthly one tomorrow. Now, there are two things that annoyed Anthony Albanese and Jim Chalmers out of Michele Bullock's last press conference in August and a subsequent appearance at a parliamentary committee by one of her officials. That was Sarah Hunter saying that the economy was running too hot, when really she probably meant inflation was running too hot. The other was Michele Bullock flagging a possible rate hike. Politically, that's the last thing the government needs. So my brave prediction this afternoon ahead of Michele Bullock's press conference, she'll be hosing down the prospect of a rate hike. And she has plenty of reasons around the world for where inflation and interest rates are heading to do that. She has plenty of reason out of the GDP figures to do that. And she also had breakfast with Jim Chalmers for an hour last Wednesday, where he probably encouraged her to do that, as independent as the Reserve Bank is. And I don't question its independence because, as I say, it has been annoying the government. But look, today is a bit of a damp squib. The one thing the government will be looking for is for Michele Bullock not to flag a rate hike. So let's have a look at that, and not to beat them up too bad in terms of government spending, which I should point out is manna from heaven for the opposition. But it also does include state governments. We have state Labor governments, one trying to get re-elected in Queensland. They'll be unsuccessful, no doubt. Making public transport free. We have other state Labor governments, like in New South Wales, giving above the odds pay rises to public servants. That's the environment that the economy is operating in at the moment, and the opposition will be keen to say we're more about private companies and the market. These guys are just about some sort of command economy.
Oh, not to mention $1,000 for your power bill, but they don't get power bills in Queensland anymore. I think they just get cheques in the mail. The big part of that narrative, I guess, when you talk around the domestic side of inflation and the government spending, Andrew, does the government, I mean, they can't directly say, yeah, we're spending heaps, but was that government spending the thing that kept us from getting into recession?
Yeah, they can say that. Judith Sloan has another opinion, the economist in the Australian today, saying you'll get the private spending anyway if you don't take it away for government spending. Did we need a recession to get rates down earlier? We've had a per capita recession for 6 quarters, where, 0.1, 0.2 growth practically is a recession. Would it have made that much difference if they were just under and there'd been less government spending? I think that's starting to become a pretty valid argument. The main thing people want is inflation down and a rate cut. The main thing the government wants politically is inflation and a rate cut. Sure, they could get whacked with causing a recession, but I'll tell you what's going to give them more political dividend, and that's a couple of rate cuts before the election. There are Reserve Bank meetings in February, April and May. The May one's towards the end of May, about the latest possible time you can call an election, Tom. It shapes as a fascinating time for you to be revealing what the Reserve Bank is doing over the next few months.
Andrew, thank you.